Your coworkers are not your friends. That job, the company, they're not your family. That's toxic thinking. Most of you have family members who are your blood, who are toxic as hell. You have friends whom you've known for a very long time who are toxic as hell. And you expect strangers who are brought together by one common goal, making money, for a third party to bear the responsibility of being your family and showing up as your family. That is toxic thinking. Expectations waiting to be shattered. You are exchanging time for money. Your job is a transactional relationship. And while we're at it, HR was not created to protect you. They're there to mitigate risk for the company. I've had coaching clients say to me, I was laid off and no one reached out. Out of all of the people that I trusted, worked with, sat in meetings with for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, only 1 or 2 people reached out. I know someone who was pulled aside during an office Christmas party to be told that they would be let go. Apparently it was a performance thing during an office Christmas party. Making friends at work is not the rule, it's the exception. I've been lucky enough to meet some phenomenal people through work whom I'm still close to. I can confidently say that that is rare and I'm grateful. My point is, show up. Do your best. Do not kill yourself for a job. Do not risk your life or your health by stressing out over a job or the people at that job. Do not be lured into a false sense of safety because nothing in this life experience is permanent. All structures in this life experience, including your job, including the people at your job, are unstable. Know that no thing, no job, no life situation, no person can add or take away anything from who you already are, from who you have always been. Manage your expectations so that when all of those people, those humans at work, show up as human, and they will, you'll still retain your peace of mind. If that resonated with you, hit home for you, let me know below in the comments. If you're seeing one of my messages for the first time, it is so lovely to meet you. I'm Wemi. I'm a life coach, a career coach, and a business coach. Don't forget to hit that follow button for more doses of inspiration. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon.
I just put in my 2 weeks so I can tell this story now. Coworkers are not your friends, and you should be very careful about how you move when you're telling secrets to coworkers. 2 days into me working at this job, literally 2 days in, this is when this happened. This involves Miss Lisa, Miss Mary, and Miss Rhonda. Miss Lisa and Miss Rhonda, they hate each other. And it's to the point that when I start at the job, they warn me about Miss Lisa and Miss Rhonda in their beef. It's a long-standing beef. It's gone on a couple years. Both of them are on their last warning. They have been told to stay away from each other, and if anything else happens, the both of them are gone. My second day of work, Miss Rhonda puts it in her head that she's actually going to fight Miss Lisa. I don't know what happened, and as far as the camera footage shows, nothing happened that should have precipitated this fight, but Miss Rhonda literally goes up to Miss Lisa and starts an argument trying to get her to hit her. When Miss Lisa doesn't take the bait, Miss Rhonda budges her, trying to get Miss Lisa to fight her. All credits to Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa never took the bait. Miss Lisa goes to the manager, tells her what's going on. We review the camera footage. We send Miss Rhonda home. It's it. It's done. It's finito. We're going to be terminating Miss Rhonda because Miss Lisa did nothing wrong in this situation. To this day, don't know why Miss Rhonda decided to do that. We send Miss Rhonda home. She's not happy. She feels as if they both should be going home. She feels as if she's not in the wrong for what she did, because even when she explains her side, it doesn't make sense. She's wrong in every aspect of this story. And the next day, Miss Mary comes to...
Friendly is free. Access is expensive. Let's be honest, one of the biggest lies we were sold about adulthood is that work is this magical place where you're supposed to find your second family.
To me, and she's like, hey, so I had a conversation with Miss Rhonda yesterday, and she made some threats against the company and against you guys. Threats? What kind of threats she made? Miss Mary says, oh, I actually recorded the phone call. Miss Mary took somebody else's phone and recorded herself on speakerphone with Miss Rhonda, and Miss Rhonda's talking shit. You hear me? Miss Rhonda talking about she gonna get her cousins to come up to the building and that point, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, Miss Rhonda, you got to go. And in the recording, she talked about something like, yeah, I'm gonna get him to get everybody, including that fat ass gay man. Talk about me. Why am I in it? I've been here 2 days. I don't know any of you. Immediate termination from Miss Rhonda. We call her, let her know, hey, don't come back up here. You fired. She has a little back and forth or whatever, but she takes it fairly well. And I'm scared because I'm thinking oh, wow, she took it well. She's about to do something bad. Nothing bad ever happened. Fast forward a couple of months, we get a notification that Miss Rhonda's actually filing for unemployment, and they want us to pay the unemployment claim. No, you made threats against the company. We're not going to be paying unemployment claims. We fired you for a legitimate reason. Court date comes, Miss Rhonda don't show up. New York allows people to resurrect their unemployment cases until there's an actual decision made. They keep letting people resurrect these cases. I've had to deal with cases from long before I even worked at this company. I've dealt with some unemployment cases. We get to the actual court. Mind you, I've submitted all the documents, including the video. We get to the first court. We get to the second court session. At this point, it's been almost a year and a half since Ms. Rhonda's been terminated. We get to the court session. Ms. Rhonda does show up for this one. The judge asked Ms. Rhonda to give her side. Ms. Rhonda gives her side. The judge asked me as the company representative to give our side. I give our side, and I say I also submitted the video for evidence. Dawns on me at that moment that the judge is about to play the video. Ms. Rhonda can see the video too. Judge plays the video. It plays out. It's very clearly Ms. Rhonda on the video or on the phone or whatever, making the threats that she's making. That was our justification decision. The judge sides with us, closes the case, whatever. The entire time, because we're on Zoom court, the entire time that video is playing, I'm looking at Ms. Rhonda's face and her having the realization that Miss Mary snitched on her. Miss Mary was never our employee. She was a contractor. She was trying to get hired on full time, but we weren't hiring on full time or whatever. And I think she...
Your second family? Be serious. This is not Thanksgiving. This is payroll. You didn't apply for emotional bonding. You applied for direct deposit.
This is a reminder that the people at your job are not your friends and they do not care about you. The second they get too comfortable, their respect goes out the window. I will never forget the time that my mom was battling cancer and I had to go take care of her like literally days before she passed. And I let my supervisor know this, and I come back to work only to find out that she's going around telling my coworkers that, oh, I don't know why she needed time off anyway. Her and her mom didn't get along. That is my mother. Like, you only get one mom. And like, you know, everybody venting about their mom or, you know, the past or just whatever the case may be. But that just wasn't her place to say that. Like, the audacity. I will never forget that. Mind you, I was going on a FLMA leave. So it's like, you wasn't even supposed to be telling nobody that, but just the fact that you took it upon yourself to talk, not only disclose that to other people, but talk shit. Oh, baby. Okay. And also, stop telling them your business. I don't care how little it may seem. Like, my thing is, I never talked about my mom to this woman, but you know how you just have small talk with your coworker, and it might have been like, oh yeah, my mom used to do that to me when I was little too, or just, you know, just literally small talk that nobody's gonna think about after you leave the office. That's what it was. So for her to take that and to say that is just like...
A piece of advice: if you make a mistake at work, please don't tell anybody. Just don't. Keep it to yourself, because your co-workers are not your friends.
You know what I noticed? That co-workers hate when you come to work, you clock in, do your job, and clock out. They be like, what you did over the weekend? Like, what did you do when you clocked out of work on Friday all the way to Sunday? Like, let me know what you did this weekend. They act like they really care, right? And they really your friend, right? And as soon as you turn your back, here they go telling the whole job about your whole weekend and all your personal business that you done told they ass. Separate personal and business. Like, you go to work to get your money on and go home. Not to go to work and make friends, because your coworkers is not your friends whatsoever.
Guys, your coworkers are not your friends. Unless they work in a completely different department, they are not your friends, and they will 100% judge you if you are too open and honest about your life. I have made so many friends through work, but I became friends with them after I left that job. That's a big difference.
Although I will always say this, that people are not your friends at work, your coworkers are not your friends. Yes, I preach this every day. But there are benefits to having a good ally in the workplace. Like, I cannot say that enough. You find you a good ally, someone that is on the same vibes as you. Y'all not trying to get in each other's business. Y'all just trying to get through this work, and y'all help each other out. Like, that's the person that you need to be cool with. Not the person that want to know what you doing on the weekends, what's all the drama going on. No. You need the person that's going to be like, okay, what you got? Okay, you got some of this? Okay, I got you. Okay, I'm going to cover for you here. All right, okay. I got you. You got me. Yeah, we're good. Like, that's the type of relationships that I aim to build in the workplace. Not these long-term friendships that people be wanting. Like, no, I don't need all that. I already got friends at home that I got to deal with. I got family at home and I got to deal with. I don't need no more friends. I don't need it. But what I do need is a good ally at work that keeps you in the loop. You don't have no friends, but you got allies. So find those good allies that you know you can trust just enough that y'all can get through the workday. You know? Find them people, because they're out there.
Your coworker, your boss,
they're not your best friend. They could be friendly, and you need to understand the difference. Because when it has to do with protecting themselves, everybody's out for self. So make sure you pay attention to how you show up for yourself in these workplaces. I know we are good people at heart, and we want to make sure we get along with everyone, but you got to be able to distinguish what's the difference between a coworker and someone that got my back. And usually at work, it's far few in between. Is your HR girly here giving you those secrets?
Your coworkers are not your friends. And I say that as someone who's been through some things and learned the lesson the hard way. You never know what someone's intention is, and they may seem normal and like they want to be your friend, but their insecurities tend to manifest in jealousy and sabotage when it comes to coworkers. Do not trust them. I understand there will occasionally be an exception. I have a best friend I made at this job that I've been at for 10 years. I have 2 best friends from the job before that I was at for 3 years. So I know that there's exceptions to this, but rule of thumb, your coworkers are not your friends. Repeat it with me. My coworkers are not my friends. Do your job, do your work. You're not there to make friends. Okay, guys? Don't trust them. It won't end well.
And listen, there's nothing wrong with being kind at work. You should be respectful. You should be professional. You should absolutely be the person people enjoy working with. Smile, laugh, help out, be decent.
Your coworkers are not your friends. You need to think very hard on what you want to share with your coworkers, because if anything was to happen and it was just you and them, they will throw you under the bus. I don't care how close you think you are to a coworker that you want to call them your best friend or whatever, but if push comes to shove, they will throw you under the bus. So you should never consider your coworkers your best friends, and you should always limit the amount of information that you share with them. So if you don't know how to separate your work life and your life, you are in for a big disappointment.
Can we just normalize that you don't have to be friends with your coworkers? Controversial thought, I know. I'll be friendly with you, I'll be cordial with you, I will help you in any way that you need. But I don't have to be your friend. I don't have to accept your Facebook request. I don't have to accept your Instagram request. I don't have to have you look at my TikTok. For the sole fact that I don't think there's any need for you to see anything I'm doing outside of work. Like I said in my previous TikToks, I've been a nurse for almost 6 years. It's taken me 6 years to fully understand this thought and also to set those boundaries with my coworkers. And don't get me wrong, it could be very, very awkward. There are those coworkers that are going to keep sending you the Facebook, sending you the Instagram requests, whatever. I've had a coworker blatantly come up to me and ask me why I've removed them off of Facebook, Instagram, and continuously try to re-request me as if I'm going to change my mind. I'm not. When I say this, that doesn't give people the excuse to go ahead and be rude, disrespectful, whatever to their coworkers. When I'm working with you, I'll be helping you. I will be respectful. I'll share a laugh with you, sure. But at the end of those 12 hours, I'm going home. I'm not texting you. I'm not thinking about you. I'm not hanging out with you. This is solely professional. I very much have the mentality that when I go to work, I'm going to work for myself and for my patients. I'm going in, punching in, giving the best care I can, and then I'm going home. I don't go to work with the intent of making friends. Absolutely, I have made some of the best friends that I've ever had at work. Those people I will, hang out outside of work, text, share a laugh with, but that type of relationship doesn't need to be with all my coworkers. I don't need to feel subjected to the fact that, because we work with each other, I have to accept their friendship on Facebook or something. I don't have to, nor do I want to. There are those people that you work with. I know I have definitely experienced it, especially since I've opened up this TikTok account. There are people that blatantly just want to follow me on here, Instagram, or wherever, who follow me, view my content, make fun of it, or tried to use it at my job to say, oh, she's unprofessional, look what she's doing outside of work. What I do outside of work has nothing to do with how I am inside of work. That's why I don't want you viewing me outside of work, since you want to be so judgmental. There's no need for you to see pictures of me, of my boyfriend, of my family, of any of that. There's no reason for you to have access to that. Like I said, This could be very, very awkward at times, especially if you have those coworkers that are for some reason so persistent. And I'm going to give you the most simple response that you can give to them. All you have to say is, I don't feel as though this relationship has to leave the walls of our job. That's it. All you have to say is, I don't feel like this relationship needs to leave this setting. They continue to try to push at you. That's all you have to keep saying is, I understand, but I just don't feel like this relationship needs to exit outside of our workplace. I don't feel like this relationship we have needs to go beyond a professional point. Plus, it's just the more that they try to push you and the more they ask and the more worked up they get about it, the more that they're validating your point. I especially don't need to be friends with you. Keep talking. You're just validating my thought, Mary. But especially to my baby nurses, because I'm very protective of my baby nurses. I'm very protective of my PCTs, my new hires, that I say take this advice and run with it, especially in this work culture lately in healthcare. People like to go ahead and find any reason to hate the baby nurse, hate the new hire, hate the PCT, whatever. It'll make things 10 times easier on you. You don't have to stress about, okay, to post this because Susie Lou who's gonna see it and, will say something at work. If they're not friends with you on social media in the first place, there's nothing for them to look at. There's nothing for them to talk about. So just save your mind, save your peace, and just show them the exit before they can even question anything.
But there's a difference between being friendly and giving people front row seats to your personal life. Friendly is good morning. Access is here's my trauma, my relationship problems, and my Instagram. Those are two different price points. Because the truth is, work is a shared environment, not a shared destiny. You didn't choose these people the same way you choose your real friends. You are assigned by circumstance, geography, availability, and whoever interviewed well that week.
Don't ever trust nobody at your job. Some people at your job is not your friend. Y'all just coworkers. You got to keep it at that type of relationship. Because people be trying to get information on you. They trying to find out your life. And a lot of them people, they be jealous. Definitely if you got something going on outside of work and work is all they got going, they be hating on you about that. So don't tell them about anything good that's happening in your life, that you finna hit the lotto, that you finna find another job, that you finna, better yourself. You finna start doing another career or going to school for this. Because, boy, they gonna sabotage you. They gonna sabotage you. Some people, they be mad because they ain't got the thrive or the fight to be able to try to do something better in their life. And they know that this is the end goal for them. So when you go to talk about positive stuff that's going to, get you to the next level, get you up out of this job, they don't like that. Sometimes they want to get you up out of the job before you even get to that goal. Because they like, yeah, now what you going to do now? Now you stranded. And the main ones to watch out for is the ones that was a regular employee like you, and then they get promoted. They change. Really, they was already changed because them be the brown noses. They be the ones that be kissing ass. They be just kissing ass. And then once they get promoted and they get that little power, boy, they be trying to take advantage of it. They be trying to take advantage of it. The whole time, they'll be trying to act like they cool with you, but behind your back, they throwing salt all on your name, trying to get you fired, trying to get you rolled up and all that there. So be careful. Just come in here, make your money, take your ass home. These people is not your friends. They not your friends. Like I say, a lot of them, they be jealous of you. Definitely if you got something else going on outside of the job. Some people, this is their whole life. That's why you'll have the people that been at a job 20, 30 years and they just be stuck in their ways. And most of them don't get promoted. They just be a follow the leader type person. And if you ain't coming in there with that same mentality, they don't like that. They hate a strong mind. So like I say, don't trust nobody at your job. They not your friends.
Here's why you should not become friends with your coworkers. So I had a coworker, right? And they had a little thing going on with the boss, right? And every time I would go to my break, I would always see them both in the break room. And I didn't think much of it because I thought they were just, they were taking a break. They were trying to relax. We all need to relax until I go in there one day, just for the plot. Tell me why I find out that they're taking the white stuff while at work. I walk in, I'm like, what is going on right now? And they both looked at me and they were like, it's not what you think. I'm like, then what is it? Tell me why they gonna give me a piece. Call me crazy, call me whatever, but I took a piece, all right? But it's like I only did it because if you wouldn't believe me when I tell you that they would go in that break room, they would be a whole completely different type of people as soon as they got out of the break room. It was actually insane. Like, I would notice before they were in the break room, they would always have this like low vibe. They looked like they hated life. They just wanted to go home. And you could just tell like all this brain stuff up here was just declining through the shifts. But when they came out of the room, it was like they switched bodies with two completely different people. They were energized. They had a good attitude. They would end up getting things actually done way faster than they would before they did the white stuff. So I honestly thought, why not? Y'all, within 5 minutes, it was like everything, my whole perspective on life just changed. I was more focused. I didn't have no brain fog. I felt like I was like on coffee without the disgusting aftertaste. So I ended up asking them where they got the gum from because I was thinking it was about to be like some sketchy ass dude from around the corner. Tell me why they got it on TikTok. And so obviously, like, I bought some, all right? It was just too good of a deal. You can get like a whole pack of these where each piece totals to like 25 cents, which is way better than spending $5 a day on some coffee. Look, I don't know what my boss and coworker got going on, but I do know one thing. This gum right here, love it. I did leave an orange link somewhere here on this video if you wanted to try it, but I would hurry up though because apparently they are like a big brand on this app and they sell out like every single day. It's actually insane. So if you do see the orange cart, just consider yourself lucky.
Never ever, and I repeat, never share any personal details about you to any coworker. You do not know what their motives are at the end of the day for them asking this information from you. These people are not your friends. It's like a forced environment with people, right? They're not friends that you're actively choosing. Yeah, you happen to be in the same environment, but you just don't know where these people's heads are at when you are sharing information about yourself, or if they're asking information. You just kind of want to be a little wary, a little careful about what you give away. You just don't know if these types of people are looking for something to use against you in the future. If they're using that as like some way like, oh, you know, maybe that's why she's messing up at work because she's going through this at work, right? And therefore they'll tell management. You just don't know what they have against you. Be very vague when you share anything. There's people that are looking for your downfall in a coworker situation. And I'm not saying for everything, okay? But just to keep yourself just safe from any possible bad situation, keep everything on lock. Like, do not tell anybody anything about you. Just do your job, get in, get out. That's it. Want to be friends with your coworkers? I get that, but just keep it very superficial. You don't need to let them know anything right away. Just because you don't know what people's motivations are and their intentions are, and you just don't know if they have evil eye for you, they want you out of the company and they're pretending to be your friend. Don't trust people so easily in a coworker situation. You just don't know who they are at the end of the day. Make sure that you're tracking and documenting everything that you're doing, because some of these people will say that you didn't do something, report that to management, and who knows, maybe they've been there for a long time and they take their word over yours. So always document everything. Don't share anything with a coworker. You will just protect yourself at the end of the day, and that's all you need to worry about.
That doesn't make them bad people. It just means proximity is not the same thing as trust. And here's where people get confused. They think, well, we laugh together, we vent together, we struggle through the same shifts. Yeah, soldiers in an airport also stand next to each other. That doesn't mean they're going on vacation together. Shared stress creates temporary closeness, but temporary closeness is not permanent loyalty.
And let me tell y'all how y'all coworkers is not y'all friends. Clock in, get your money, and go to fuck home. Y'all go to work trying to make friends, buddy. Whole time, these motherfuckers don't even like you. Half of the motherfuckers envious you. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I deal with it every motherfucking day. Niggas envious you, talk behind your back, line. Listen, I really don't give a fuck. Y'all ain't writing my checks. Motherfucker, y'all ain't clocking in. And y'all ain't making this money for me. I am. Go to work, clock out, and go home, man. Stop going to work to make friends and quit telling all your fucking business, bro. These motherfuckers literally just want to know your business. That's it. They want to know your business so they can go back and tell the next coworker. Keep that shit to yourself, brody. Another thing, don't be feeling shitty when you find out your business all through the plant. You like, hold on, I only tell one motherfucker. Take is that one motherfucker. I'm telling y'all, bro. You don't have no friends in your workplace. I have no friends. None. You hear me? I'm gonna go in there, play my role, do my shit. A key, and get the fuck on and clock out. I really, and quite frankly, don't fuck with none of them motherfuckers outside of work. So it really don't fucking matter. Keep your business to yourself. Clock in and get your money and go the fuck home. You go there to make money, not friends. You went to orientation to make money, not friends.
Here's why you shouldn't become friends with your coworkers. I had a friend who worked with a team of 4 other people, and the 4 other people got laid off. So my friend texted like the group chat and was like, hey, how are you guys doing? Like, here's some jobs. Let me know if you need anything. Now, over the course of this month, they're like complaining about the bosses they didn't like, or just complaining about the organization and how they did things and like the way that this layoff went down. My friend is participating in the conversation because like she's also annoyed by how everything went down. Specifically, they all had this one boss who like they just had a hard time with. My friend said that the boss was like nice seemingly, but like could be difficult to follow sometimes and seemed to lose her train of thought very often. And it was just very confusing to work for this woman. So one day, a month after the layoffs, that same boss starts acting like really weird. So then my friend got called into a meeting with HR and that person's boss. So naturally she's like, oh my God, like it's a second round of layoffs. I'm going to be next. Like I'm going home. So she gets into this meeting and it's like at like 7:30 a.m. or like a ridiculously early time. She gets into the meeting and then HR is like, hey, we got wind of a text message that you were on, and granted it was on your personal phone, but we got wind of this text message you were on, and we want to know if you can explain what you were saying in these text messages. So HR begins to like read line by line everything that my friend had been saying in these messages and asks her to explain each and everything. So like, remember my friend's boss who everybody had trouble with could be like forgetful sometimes. So my friend said that she would often call her Dory in these text messages because she was so forgetful. So HR is like, so you called X, Y, and Z Dory. What did you mean by that? So of course my friend's wondering like, okay, who gave you guys these text messages? Because at this point it's one of the people. Just be careful out here. Don't trust people. Nothing's safe. Not even your personal phone.
Need to be the bearer of bad news, but your coworkers are not your friends, okay? If anything, they're your op. They are the enemy. And the reason why I say this is because you cannot reveal information about yourself personally to your coworkers. And I'm talking about personal things that you're going through, okay, at home, things at work specifically that you want to vent about. They are not your best friend. They're going to use that information that you're telling them and use it against you one day. Or even then, it's going to show the weaknesses that you have. And they're going to therefore correlate your weaknesses to your performance. Or even then use it against you and know that you're going through something. And that's why you made a mistake at work. Things like that, okay? And I'm telling you, you never know what they're going to reveal to anyone in management, or again, use that against you one day in a conversation. And now they know this information about you. It just makes you look a lot weaker and not strong, and that you're not capable, okay? You do not want to reveal your weaknesses to your coworkers. Despite how close you think you are not friends. You so happen to be in a forced environment with these people. Yes, maybe you connect on some levels, yes, okay? But more times than not, they're looking out for themselves. They are going to do what's best for them. So don't reveal information about yourself because they could easily take that and twist it, run to management secretly behind your back, and who knows if that will hurt you in the long run when it comes to your job. Okay? You go in there, do your job, leave, be friendly with people, cordial with people, but do not reveal personal information. Keep it surface level, keep it superficial, and keep it moving. Okay? Focus on your job.
Because the moment something goes wrong, promotion, layoffs, rumors, mistakes, people protect themselves first. Not because they're evil, because they're human. And the less people know about you, the less they can reinterpret. Notice I didn't say isolate yourself. I said protect yourself. You can be warm without being open. You can be kind without being accessible. You can laugh with someone and still keep your inner world private. Privacy is not rudeness. Privacy is emotional security. Some of the most peaceful people at work are the ones nobody can figure out, not because they're fake, but because they understand something powerful. Not everyone deserves full access to you just because they share a schedule with you. See, your real life is the one waiting for you after you clock out. Your real friendships are the ones that exist without a time card. Your real support system is the one that isn't dependent on company policy. Work is where you perform your role. Life is where you live your truth. And when you stop oversharing, something interesting happens. You stop overthinking. You stop worrying about who knows what. You stop managing unnecessary perceptions. You just show up, do your job well, collect your money, and leave with your peace intact. No damage control, no emotional cleanup. Just peace. Because at the end of the day, your job is a chapter, not your identity. And the strongest thing you can be in any workplace